When Sarah and I first met, she described her biggest struggle in the classroom as her math block time, which is at the end of the day, and that it was a little harder for her students in first grade to focus at that time of day. So I came in on March 11th to observe them. They were pretty much on task. 10 of them were on task. We had a few that were off task, 5 not on task to be exact. 6 of them were early finishers. Her classroom was run where 4 of them were working at a small group, and then the rest were either working on their math worksheet or on iReady, and she was going from table to table to assist students. And this is the baseline data from that observation. So I just wanted to follow up on our coaching that we did over the last few weeks and ask you some reflection questions. The first question I wanted to ask is, how would you describe the overall experience with the coaching process? You were focused on student engagement. What kind of reflection would you say best emulates how it went in your class?
I think it went great. Meeting with you, discussing what my needs were, coming with a plan, having you come in and observe and break it down into who was on task, who was off task, who was a helper, and strategies and ways to get them engaged. We broke them into small groups, which really helped. And so I was just thankful for all your feedback.
Okay, so for the impact on student engagement, I wanted to find out what you felt you noticed changes in your students' engagement throughout the coaching period. What was the most impactful thing that worked for them?
I think breaking them into small groups was the most impactful. We saw a huge jump in students going from not on task to being on task, and that was exciting to see that they were on task, listening and doing what they're supposed to do.
All right, so as far as sustainability, how confident would you feel in applying what we tried during this coaching session?
I feel very confident. I saw ways I could apply this to different areas and different subjects that I'm teaching, and that's really, really helpful to see and not only look at what I'm teaching, but how they're engaging with that teaching.
Mm-hmm. Just trying different strategies.
Yes.
Yeah. For our final coaching observation lesson, I observed Sarah's class working in small groups and rotating, either doing their math work with their teacher in a small group or with the teacher assistant in a small group, and the other half of the class on iReady. So they switched their small groups after their 10 minutes with each teacher. And during this coaching observation, it was observed that all students in the classroom were on task. She had front-loaded the behavior expectations prior to the observation, and they had practiced doing their small groups. So they showed a vast improvement from just within less than a month's worth of coaching time. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to ask is your feedback for the coaching process. Would you recommend this type of coaching for future teachers or for yourself in maybe a different area that you might see a need in the future, and why or why not?
I would definitely recommend, because they're on your side, they're there to help. So you were there when I had questions, you were there helping me through the process, showed me what was going good, what could be help improvement, ways to engage them more, and that's just helpful overall for teaching. So I would definitely recommend.